Hello and welcome everybody to the live Q&A for session 4 of Empower Your Presentations. Now we're going to take a look at what becomes the qualifying area, prep for success. So again, just to do a little reinforcement and answer some questions that had come in earlier, this is really about asking questions, and the bottom line is the person who's asking questions is actually in control of the selling situation. So as you're asking questions, it's really imperative that you get good at this, because the better your questions, the better the quality of the questions, the better the information you'll have to match your solution with their problem. Again, people make selling way too hard. It's only 4 words: identify problem, provide solution. Well, one of the places you can identify the problem is in this stage of qualifying, prepping for success, asking questions. You know, what what are you looking for in a XYZ? These kinds of things. So again, how does your solution fit their needs? Well, the way you find that out is to find out their needs. And so you know your product inside and out. They know their situation. You have to exchange this information and go through. Um, I think one of the best questions that you can possibly ask is, if you could improve one thing in your ... what would it be? Now, the ... can be filled with life, business, relationships, uh, kids, finances, fitness, health, any of those words. If you could improve one thing in your business, what would it be? If you could improve one thing with your vendors, what would it be? See, when you learn to ask questions, it's amazing what happens is, number one, people believe you care, because you do. You're asking them questions. You're working to find out why this is a better solution for them. So when you qualify the prospect, they're also qualifying you in this exact same time. Again, you're asking them questions. They're listening to your questions to see how much you actually care. Now, you can use form as an approach: family, occupation, recreation, message. What do you like doing outside of work? What do you like doing for recreation? What makes your heart go pitter pat if you're not working? Things like that. All sorts of different things you can ask. Um, Again, I ask a lot of questions like, what's new and exciting in your world? Because now it gives them the ability. That's an open ended question. A closed ended question is one that is yes or no. Would you be interested in seeing XYZ? No. Well, if you ask that question and they say no, you're done. But if you say, what would you like best about XYZ? Well, I like the fact that it does this, 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 this. So again, the better you are at asking questions, the better you're going to be. I ask questions like, what do you like best about your current supplier? Well, that's a strange question, Scott, if you're trying to replace the supplier. See, but they don't expect you to ask that question. They expect you to say, what problems do you have with your current supplier? If they say, what do you like best about your current supplier? They could say, well, they're really on time. Their on time delivery is amazing. That's a good thing. Well, we specialize in on time delivery here. So again, now you're equal. Do you understand? You found out what's giving your competition the leg up, and you can equal or defeat it going forward. But you only know that by asking the question as you go. If you say, what do you hate about your current vendor? Now it becomes a dump fest, and it doesn't really show much class if you're sitting there dumping on the competition the entire time. So again, the better you are at asking questions, the better you're going to be. This is really an educational experience. You're asking them questions so you can learn, They're listening to your questions and watching your body position and all these different things to see how much you care. It's an exchange of educational opportunities here. So again, just keep on understanding that. Now, I said it in the tease of this, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's what most people would say to answer that. And the reality is absolutely not true. You can make a horse drink 100% of the time. What do you have to do? You have to make them thirsty. They have to want to drink. So how do you do that? You put salt in their oats. When they eat the salt with the oats, they become thirsty. So we have to learn to create curiosity, and we do that by asking questions and building up information about the other party and what they're doing. So again, the old adage, you can lead a horse to water and you can't make them drink, is absolutely not true. You can make them drink every time if you make them thirsty enough. You need to make them want what you have. I've said it before in other sessions. As a salesperson, I don't ever want to sell you anything, but I always want you to buy a lot from me. Therefore, it's my responsibility to create an environment for you to buy. I want you to want what I have from that side. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, the old standard. Most people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Very true. It's really an exchange of feeling. Selling is an exchange of emotions. And so the more that they can feel you feel for them, the better off you're going to be. Let's see. Any other tips in here? I guess the last one that I'll leave you with here is that most people don't really realize how close they are to making a deal. They get scared, or they they just don't stay confident. Well, if I ask you enough questions about why you would consider buying what I have, the reality is I will, in fact, then go through and actually, you know, um, you know that I'm working for you if we work at this close enough together. And if I ask you enough questions to find out the perfect size, perfect fit, perfect this, perfect that, what are you challenged with? What would you like to be easier? What really works well for you? What would you like to do more of? All these kinds of things help you as you go along. So I appreciate the questions that were sent in. Hopefully this little tip in helps you a little bit, and look forward to seeing you again next week as we talk about the next session. God bless.